You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. First of all, we got an issue, of course, where Hillary Clinton is still making noises. There's a 4-part Hulu series that is called Hillary. That will be airing. And then, of course, it is set to premiere at the Sundance Film Festival this weekend. And in this particular docuseries, she did not mince words when it came to Senator Bernie Sanders. Quote, he was in Congress for years. He had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done. He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. When asked if he gets a nomination, will she endorse and campaign for him? She responded, quote, I'm not going to go there yet. We're still in a very vigorous primary season. I will say, however, that it's not only on him, it's the culture around him. It's his leadership team. It's his prominent supporters. It's his online Bernie bros and their relentless attacks on lots of his competitors, particularly the women. And I really hope people are paying attention to that because it should be worrisome that he has permitted this culture. Not only permitted, he seems to really be very much supporting it. And I don't think we want to go down that road again where you campaign by insult and attack, and maybe you try to get some distance from it, but you either don't know what your campaign and supporters are doing, or you're just giving them a wink and you want them to go after Kamala Harris or after Elizabeth Warren. I think that's a pattern that people should take into account when they make their decisions. Now, all these media people ran with it, said, Hillary Clinton said she is not going to campaign for Bernie Sanders. That's not what she said. She never said such thing. She says, I'm not ready to go there yet. Why? Because her deal is not one vote has been cast. Reese, you have been quite animated on
yes,
Twitter with your clapbacks towards Bernie bros, or you call them also Bernie brunettes.
Broettes.
Broettes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Hillary is totally right. Let me start out by saying, even if she didn't want to campaign for him, so what? She doesn't have to. The problem is we're not making people work for our votes anymore. It's just vote blue no matter who. No, you're an asshole. I don't want to vote for you. And Bernie is the worst, and so are his supporters. And I'm glad that she name-checked Kamala Harris because these folks have gone after Kamala Harris for years. And so good on Hillary Clinton for standing up to Bernie Sanders. It's about damn time that somebody did it. Everybody's acting like they're scared of him because his bros are monsters. I said it, and I don't care. And you know what? They're not going to be able to bully their way to this primary, to the nomination, or to strong-arm people into voting for him. And if they don't think that there's going to be a huge never Bernie problem, they're in for a rude-ass awakening, period.
Let's go to Jason. What about that? What Reese had to say?
I have to disagree with that. I think Hillary's making, in many ways, a big mistake. I understand what she's saying about, not wanting to go there yet. Bernie Sanders went to, I believe, 34 campaign stops for Hillary Clinton. And the other thing I would say is that Hillary Clinton is also destroying her legacy. She's making herself look like a sore loser who's looking for an excuse for why she lost. And I think in many ways, her criticism should be saved for her enemies. We have, we as Democrats oftentimes end up eating our own, and then we come out weakened. And I guess we're not stronger together, as what she said before. So, look, Bernie Sanders, if you think he's not the right candidate, support the candidate that you think is the best candidate. But going after Bernie Sanders at this point, I think is really just a bad idea. It's bad for Democrats all around. And then we get surprised, and on November 9th, or, in 2016, we're wondering what happened. It's because we've fractured ourselves too much. Instead of actually saying, all right, we have an existential threat on the other side, we need to unite. And, there are some crazy Bernie people. There are some absolutely insane white feminist Hillary supporters do pretty much the same thing. I think it's just election season. There's good people. There's bad people. There's people who support people for good reasons. There are people who support people for the wrong reasons. And so I wouldn't. And the last thing I'll say really quickly is that this myth of the never Hillary, or what was it, a Bernie or bust. that's actually been disproven by the numbers. More people abandoned President Obama from after voting for Hillary Clinton, voted for John McCain, than people who abandoned Hillary Clinton after voting for Bernie Sanders. So, that Bernie or bust thing is a myth. That's not even true.
Michael, I don't quite understand. I hear all the folks who say, "Oh my God, this is hurting," and when I see people complain about Democrat circular firing squad, it's a damn election. Okay, I'm sorry. Show me an election where everybody was nice and wonderful and hugging, and we hug it all out. In an election, your job is to take out your opponent.
And that's what Bernie does.
Let's be clear. Obama had some major opposition research people going after Hillary Clinton. They weren't the best of buds. Oh, now he might have done it with a smile, but that's what you're dealing with. And so I don't get people who act as if Bernie Sanders shouldn't be going after Joe Biden. Joe Biden shouldn't be going after Buttigieg. They were all pissed off with Senator Harris when she went after Joe Biden. You're running a race. That's what the hell you do in an election.
And all we do is go back to 16, the Republican primary. They were going after each other like crazy. That's just, but the difference is when that primary was over, every single solitary one of them endorsed 45. All of them.
Right.
In our case, and again, I understand that Senator Sanders went to 34 stops for Secretary Clinton, but he was very late to the party. A lot of his supporters were late. They were still moaning and groaning on Twitter, talking about, I'm not going to support her, even if Bernie does it. So there is a lasting, in the 16 GOP primary, I cannot, all of them, even when, and you were right, I forget what other panelists mentioned, this guy was talking about people's wives, their families, assassinating Kennedy.
Right. He accused Ted Cruz's daddy of being a part of the assassination plot to kill Kennedy.
And Cruz stood on that stage, hand in hand. I support this guy for president.
And that's the thing, Rob, that I don't quite understand. I mean, look, Republicans are going to be like, yo, it's about winning.
Yeah.
Democrats will walk around in their feelings. It's like, no, I'm going to stay at home as if this evil man somehow is not going to win. That's stupid to me. That's stupid.
Yeah, and that was the most irresponsible part of Hillary Clinton's statement. The reason why she's not running right now, and if she wants to endorse somebody. But what she said, either directly or indirectly, is like, don't support this guy whatsoever. So I think two things. One, that might actually help him in the short run. If you didn't want him to be that's not what she should have done, in my opinion, from my perspective. Two, it looks like she is relitigating 2016 and making excuses. Both of us learned about excuses online about why she lost. Listen, there were some unfair things done to her. There's no question. But I don't see how this helps us resolve the current issue, which is the current president occupant of the White House and getting rid of him. So this helps promote. I mean, we're talking about Hillary Clinton. I'm sure this will help make money for the Hulu series, but it's not going to necessarily help us get rid of Donald J. Trump.
Well,
wait a second.
That needs to be the focus.
Nobody attacks Democrats more than Bernie Sanders and the Justice Dems. They talk about the establishment, neoliberal corporate shield. Bernie Sanders has the Young Turks. He has the Intercept. He has the Guardian. He has Jacobin. He has all of these machines around him that pump out this message that the Democrats are the enemy, except for them. And now all of a sudden, when Hillary Clinton opens up her mouth, they want to talk about unity.
But
Hillary
Clinton is the former nominee for president.
Know that I
One,
say
two.
Jack.
Two, she's been previously, she's a very high-profile person. She could do enough damage if he was to win. I'm not saying he is, and I'm not picking a candidate. I'm just saying I don't see how this, helps him not win in the primary, because then that might make people more motivated, get more money, and it seems like the polls are proving that point. And then second, in case he comes out, I think it makes it very difficult. It makes it even more difficult to get past it. So what was gained by this other than us talking about Hillary Clinton?
Okay, this is real simple. Okay, first of all, let's do with polls, national polls. Primaries are not national polls. They are state elections. And not even state elections. Iowa has a caucus, okay? That's what's going on here. And so, I get all these national polls. National polls mean nothing. A national poll showing that Joe Biden can beat Donald Trump means nothing.
I
Why?
agree.
The election is determined by who can get to 270. Those are
Agreed.
state elections. And here's the deal. Hillary Clinton said what she had to say. I don't give a shit. I really don't. My deal is she offered her opinion, just like Bernie Sanders offers his opinion. Okay? These things happen. And so, look, one of his supporters wrote this column blasting Joe Biden for corruption. Bernie had to come out and apologize for it. This is still an election. You're going to have people who don't like you. And that's just what it is.
Right.
Okay? And that's just a fact. But the real deal here, and look, let me just go ahead and put it on the table. There are a lot of Democrats who are pissed off at Bernie Sanders for jumping into the party, forcing the Democratic Party to change his rules, and then him not declaring that he's a Democrat. I mean, so, look, he wants it both ways. I want you to change your rules, but I ain't going to be one of you. Well, how in the hell are you going to change my rules? That's like having somebody say, change your rules in alpha. Punk, you ain't alpha. Go sit your ass down. I mean, that's what you got going on here. And so one of the issues, though, that you also have, you got Bernie people, some of them who love Bernie but voted for Trump. You got Democrats who voted for Obama, voted for Trump. And so at the end of the day, what has to happen is ain't nobody voted once. Let the folks vote in 13 days in Iowa. Then, damn it, let's go to New Hampshire. And let's go to Nevada. Let's go to South Carolina. But what I'm not going to do is shut an election down when, hell, not a single vote has been cast. So damn all these polls.
Somebody needs to check Bernie, period. Now Biden is starting to get on his case a little bit, and he's had some success with that.
And that's what happens in elections. You actually...
That's what
happens. I'm just tired of people who go, well, no. You shouldn't be attacking each other. Yes, you should.
I agree with that, but why Clinton?
Jason, go.
And my question is, a lot of people were saying what happened with Kamala Harris was unfair.
It was.
So is it your position, Roland, that was fair? Like the way she was attacked, the way that went down, the way her, people talked about her campaign. That was absolutely fair game.
That's your position. Let me be clear. There were people who attacked Senator Kamala Harris who were lying about her record.
Yes.
There were people, there's no doubt, if you look at the data, you had Russian trolls who were also amplifying that message because they deemed her to be one of the biggest threats to win the Democratic nomination. But also, one of the fundamental problems that her campaign did not anticipate nor properly respond. The bottom line is this here. If you know that people are going to go after you because of your prosecutorial record, what you can't do is wait until September, the Monday before the debate at Texas Southern University, and release your criminal justice plan. Not when you got in the race in March. If you knew what was considered a weakness, what you do is you shore up your weaknesses early. You do not allow 6 months to go by and then let the whole thing fester and build up. You don't have 3 debates where you frankly couldn't answer the attack on your record as an attorney general. So 2 things can be correct. There were unfair attacks on Senator Kamala Harris, but also her people did not properly respond or anticipate what those attacks were. And so that's what happens in politics. All is fair in love and war.
Okay.
It ain't gonna, and so that's all it is.
Okay, yeah. If you're saying that it's all fair, because there are certainly attacks on Bernie Sanders that are fair. There have been attacks on Tulsi Gabbard that are fair. There have been attacks on them that are unfair. But if you're saying this is politics, this is the way it goes, then I can totally understand your position. And
that is my position, and that's been my position since day one. And let me tell you something, my Congressman Tulsi Gabbard, she can go kick rock, especially this bullshit lawsuit she's filed against Hillary Clinton when Hillary Clinton didn't even name her in a podcast. But as Reese said in her post, hit dog will holler. That's Tulsi Gabbard.
Right.
And she needs to sit her ass down and get out of the race, because all she's doing is wasting breath. Because, again, she's amplifying what Russia wants to do, and I don't care what she has to say about it. So deal with it, okay? You're not going to get the nomination. You're not going to get close to any votes. So guess what? Sit down. John Delaney, Get out of the race. Michael Bennett, stop running. You got no place whatsoever in this race as well. So go sit down. It ain't going to happen. So that's why I'm like, yo, please hurry up. Iowa and New Hampshire and Nevada and South Carolina votes so at least 60 people can go home and stop wasting our time, because you're absolutely right. Republicans are raising hundreds of millions of dollars because they want to protect Donald Trump being in the White House. That's what they're doing, because there are three constituencies that are very happy. National security Republicans, they love the billions he keeps giving to the Defense Department, so they're going to vote for him regardless of whatever. Then you have Chamber of Commerce Republicans, love their tax cuts, love getting rid of regulation. They don't give a damn about the environment. They don't care about the air and water quality. They're going to vote for Trump because he's getting rid of regulation. They're making money. And thirdly, these crazy, nonsensical, white conservative evangelicals, all they can't stand is abortion and same-sex marriage. And so he's giving them to pick whatever judges they want, and so they will excuse any behavior that he has. And that's what's going on. But I'm trying to tell all you people out there who are sitting at home, and I'm going to say it again, and I know Cleo Monago doesn't like me to say it, but all you dumbasses who didn't vote in 2016, I'm calling you out because you're an idiot for sitting at home. I don't care who you think isn't perfect or who isn't lining up with all of your issues. You're going to have two choices. I don't care what none of y'all have to say. It's going to be a Democratic nominee, and it's going to be an evil-ass man named Trump. And we already seen what he can do in the first 4 years. He's already been impeached. He's already said he will take Russia foreign interference again. This is a man who is evil. This is a man who is going to appoint more judges. If Donald Trump wins another 4 years, he likely will be appointing half of all federal judges on the bench.
That's crazy.
That should scare the hell out of anybody who cares about civil rights or environmental protection, who cares about any of those things. And so that's what's going to happen. So y'all can sit here and go back and forth with the Bernie bros and broettes and the Tulsi people and the Hillary people and everybody else. But I'm telling you right now, when it's time for that Democratic convention, you better lock and load, because these folks, they want to run this country in a way that minimizes black people, Latinos, LGBT, Asians, Native Americans. If you ain't white, you ain't right. Just look at who they're targeting. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.